Mara, my love,
Hey, Stephanie.
thank you so much for being here. I'm so
Thanks
happy to
for
see
having
you.
me.
I woke up this morning and it was raining and feeling like a perfect day for calm, for grounding. I went out and, well, actually, it wasn't raining yet, and I went out and had a walk. And I was just thinking how the fact that you and I are getting together today is just the perfect day, because when I think of you, I think of peace and calm and groundedness and love. And so I'm just so excited to be doing this with you. And you are just such a special woman. You are a founder, an entrepreneur, a connector. You are passionate about uncovering people's value and worth, including your own. You practice this in your spheres of influence through your organizing business, MoreSPACE, which we're going to talk about, and through the most amazing small business community that you co-created called Women Connect. And we are in collaboration on an amazing event next week. Tickets are still available, so we are going to get to that a bit later. You are just this embodiment of so much, and you have such a valuable and needed voice, and it is one that you are constantly nurturing. And so to some people on the outside who might see you in the community or online, you're leading events, you're facilitating, you're hosting, you're bringing people together. I want to start by asking you, what would shock people the most to know about Mara?
Okay, so while I think of that, let me first say thank you for everything you just mirrored to me, because I was just talking to our mutual friend Nicole about this, how I don't often see those things in myself. And then when I hear someone say them to me, there's something inside me that's like, oh my gosh, she might be right about that. And I start to believe it a little more. So hopefully this is recorded and I can play that back sometime. It was just so sweet and kind and generous. So thank you. So something that people might not know about me, or they might be surprised about, is that I don't have my shit together ever. Oh man. I struggle to keep a schedule, even though I know that it would be really good for me, and it has been in the past, but I struggle with even feeling like I'm being controlled by myself. So I have some control issues, which that part might not be surprising to people, but yeah, I rebel against routine.
How does that play into the magic that you do in your business? So you help people to reclaim their inner and outer spaces, whether it's getting organized or simplification. So I'm curious for you, when you talk about not really, and I so resonate with what you mean, like not wanting to be control, like be controlled or have a lot of structure, or maybe sometimes you do, but when you're working with people and helping them to organize their life, I'm curious, how does that show up for you?
Well, I speak to them the way that I wish I had been spoken to when I was young. So I say words like, have you considered, or would you think about, or what do you think about this, or here's an option, or here's a more freeing way to do this. Like, so the language that I use is very empowering to them. I think what I wrestle against is like hearing the language that I grew up with still in my head of, you need to do this or else. And I just fight against that. So I'm working through it slowly. And I honestly think that MoreSPACE and Women Connect are helping me grow in that area, because I get to choose who my clients are, and I get to choose the women that I spend time with, and I am only surrounding myself with women that I admire and respect and want to be like or want to run towards the same goals as. And I didn't have that freedom growing up. So, did that answer your question?
I love it. I love it. And I'm curious, was there a milestone or something that triggered this quest for you where you were really eager to build this community of empowering people and women around you?
Yeah. I might get choked up, but I did a very scary thing for me and left a white evangelical institution that, like most people called church, although I view church differently now. And I think taking that step away from my security and my support and what was like a family to me, and seeing that there was something better on the other side of that mess and that oppression and the abandonment that happened in the in-between, like seeing that there was something better, and then choosing to be a part of that something better, and then instead of talking bad about what happened, creating what I had wanted back then, if that makes sense. So, I mean, that's just a piece of what went into it, and I probably wouldn't have been able to tell you that when I was rolling these ideas around in my head or talking with Kate about it. But looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that was the catalyst for this movement in my life and this outreach to other women or people who identify as women to belong to something that was greater than themselves and that fostered inclusion and connection.
You walked away from an experience, a very traumatic experience of oppression, and created inclusion in your community.
Yeah. Thanks for asking that. That's a great question.
Does it sometimes, I'm just curious because that is such a bold move to make. It's so bold, so courageous. It's almost like, wow. Do you ever have moments where you look back and think, I did that? I made that move that probably felt completely impossible before you decided to do it.
I can say that now, but maybe even a year ago, I just kept beating myself up for not leaving sooner, or like not having the strength to go earlier and like save myself from all that hurt. But now I realize I left when it was time for me to leave, and that's okay. That's what it was, and it's good.
Honoring your journey.
Yeah.
So important. So where on the timeline, when you left that world, when did MoreSPACE get birthed? And then when did Women Connect come into picture?
So MoreSPACE, I started that in 2008. And I left the institution in 2015. And then I started Women Connect as it is today in 2018, I think. Yeah.
You have this quote that I love, and it's that our quality of life is determined by what we allow to take up space in our minds and in our homes. And expanding to this, you share how over the past 12 years, the why behind what you do in this work with personal organizing has really evolved. And your ultimate goal, the piece that has remained the same, is this ultimate goal that you have to empower each client with the tools they need to maintain a simple and peaceful environment wherever they choose to live and work. What was the driver of this desire to create a life of simplicity?
I don't think it started out as that. I think it started out as I didn't want to have a boss anymore. If you're finding a theme here. And I wanted to do something that I loved and enjoyed and looked forward to every day. And I wanted to make a contribution financially to my family. And so it was kind of selfish, I think, how I started it. And then I got pregnant, and then I got pregnant again, and had postpartum depression. Didn't work for, I want to say, 4 years. And when I finally got back into it, I made this decision to just put myself in a small community of women who were going to light a fire under my ass, basically. And when I did that, things started moving in a different direction, and I could start envisioning, like, okay, who do I want my ideal client to be? No one had ever asked me that before. What's the why behind why you're investing in this now? Because it's been years since you first started, so there's a different why now. There's got to be. Why continue even? And so maybe the driving force is just connection, maybe. There are so many women who own their own business, who I admire and respect and want to be around. And owning your own business is a great way to get in the same room with them. Like, I wouldn't have this opportunity right now. I probably wouldn't even know you if I hadn't had my own business and met you at Polka Dot Powerhouse that one day. So it's just opened up so many doors and opportunities and relationships, and that's what keeps me going.
You mentioned lighting a fire under your ass, and I so resonate with this because I find that when I don't have that, I don't want to say pressure, but if there is not something or someone, and this is even for like, I'm someone that just naturally tends to get things done. I don't really need someone watching over, which is a good thing, but I still need that, like, tension.
Mm-hmm.
Like intentionally putting this conversation on the calendar. Let's just do it. Showing up and speaking in a place that feels like, what? They want me? What? Constantly doing things that feel like you're in a pressure cooker a little bit. And I see you always doing this too. Why is it so crucial to be, why would you say it's such a great way to play if you're really wanting to try something new or to get to that next level, whatever that looks like for you?
I think my personality is one that really values introspection and growth. I love to learn. I love to experience new things, and so I want to say it's the energy. It's almost like the energy is what feeds me and gets me to wake up in the morning, and this special energy of connecting with people who are leveling up, so to speak. It's, you know what it is, I think? People who are leveling up are really, I think, just uncovering who they actually are inside. And that's what I want to do. I want to get back to who I was born to be, and like shed these stupid lies I've been believing for so long. And the more people that I meet that have tapped into that, the more I'm uncovering myself too. So there again, it's selfish.
Is it though? Because as you continue to reach that, and I don't think it's a destination, we're always evolving and growing, but when you are striving to get back to who you're meant to be, that only serves the world, the community, your family, your friends, your clients even more.
Right.
Kind of like how before this we were talking about making self-care a strategy.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And maybe we just know that innately. And so, yeah, it's okay to be selfish.
Do you find that people that you meet along your journey are kind of divinely contracted, even when in the moment it might not seem that way?
That's a good question. Because either I see it right away or I'm completely missing it right now. I could totally be wrong, and I'm still learning to trust my intuition, but I know pretty immediately if there's a divine connection with someone. I hope I'm not missing out on some.
What tends to happen for you? Is it a feeling? Is it a sensation? Do you feel it in your body, or is it more in your awareness?
I feel it in my body first, and it's usually right here, and it's just this almost like I feel a little bigger, like I can take up some more space here, and then there's like this tingling back and forth in the space between whoever it is in front of me, and I can't help but smile. And yeah, I would say it starts in my body first. What's kind of sad though is that I'll walk away from the experience and doubt that it happened sometimes, or and it also takes me a while to build that trust with that person because of stuff that's happened in the past. But yeah, I'm excited to continue learning to trust my intuition, because every time I have, it's turned out beautifully.
It's never led you wrong.
No.
You said something that I love in reflecting back on this search for significance that you felt you needed to go on until you realized that it was already in you. Do you ever see this in the clients that you're working with? And does it show up differently for people?
What's really cool about being a professional organizer, well, who is an empath, although I feel like all humans are empaths, just some of us I think are more sensitive than others. I can, first of all, I can see people's value and worth immediately, just looking into their eyes. And then to be able to have this avenue to call it out of them and be like, number one, you deserve a space where you feel safe, where you feel inspired, where you feel at peace, where you feel motivated, whatever it is that you need to live your best life, so to speak. Like, you deserve it. And I get to call their worth and value out in so many ways. And who would have known that being a professional organizer, I could do that?
Do you ever walk into a space and feel either really, really good and lifted or really bad? Have you ever had that happen to you?
I have walked into spaces where I felt heavy. I've walked into spaces most of the time feeling very excited to transform it for them. So it's a mixed bag, but mostly it's exciting for me.
I think more people just need a floor to ceiling art wall.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to give us a little show and tell of that amazing wall behind you?
Okay.
I got to see it, and I feel a little bit greedy. We have to spread the love.
I love that you love it, because no one in my family does.
Oh no, we lost your audio.
Oh shoot.
Oh, you're back. You're back. You're good.
What about now?
You're good.
Okay. So this is the staircase up to my boys' room. This is a mural that's in my neighborhood here in the city. And then there's artwork by friends. And can you see it? I don't know.
Yeah.
There.
There's an elephant. Oh, it's so amazing.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
How long did it take you to finish that?
Oh, I was on a roll, so probably an hour.
Mm-hmm. Would you say, is that one of your superpowers, walking into a room and rather quickly having a vision?
In some instances, in a lot of instances, if I walk into a bare room and someone tells me to design something for them, no, I can't do it. There's too many options. I don't know where to start. But if you give me, like, this project came because I needed to clear out a closet that had all these pictures and frames that we weren't doing anything with. And so I just tossed the stuff I didn't love anymore and then hung all these up on the wall to make space. So yeah, I would say if you give me a room and ask me what's missing or how to move stuff around, that's what I really enjoy. But I cannot work with a blank slate. It's just not in me.
What you do so well is you connect and create safe spaces for other people. And so I'd love to shift into the Amazing Women Connect group that you co-created and talk about Empower You, this amazing event that is happening next week. What would you want people to know?
Well, first, I want everyone to get a ticket and grab a friend to come to this event, because we need it. We've had such a shitty year, and we need to set ourselves up for a powerful 2021. And who better to do that with than Stephanie Hess and Chelsea Christmas, owner of Fit City Women, and Melissa Baez of Assets. You three are our top picks. You are the people that we want to talk to our community about what empowerment looks like as a collective. And it does start personally with us, but we really can't empower ourselves fully without a community. And you said something, it was a little tagline about something over competition, and I can't remember what it was. Do you remember?
Community?
No, it was different, and I loved it. Community over competition, definitely. Maybe that's what it was. I don't remember now. connecting over. I don't know,
Well,
but
we'll take all of it.
we're so over competing with people that there's it's so not necessary. Like, compete with yourself, yeah, but we don't need to compete with anyone else because we all have such unique, individual, and perfect gifts that are our own that no one can replicate. And I'm going to attract the people that I'm supposed to work with, and you're going to attract the people you're supposed to work with. There's no need to compete with each other anymore. Let's do this together and have fun doing it. We need some fun. So I'm really looking forward to next week, and I hope that there's so many people on the Zoom meeting. I hate that it has to be virtual, but maybe that means we're going to get people there that wouldn't have been able to come otherwise.
Yeah, I think so. And we'll be able to drop all of those details right here so everyone can check that out. I love how the inspiration of this event was really, you were talking a lot about this we mindset. And it's so true that there really is no me, no you or I without all of us. And that is what this is really about.
And I think you're actually the one that suggested we go in that direction for this event. So you have such a way with words. So if you have anything that you want to say about this event that you're excited about, and how you brought your ideas into it, I would love for you to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. You know, what's really been on my heart is that we, and everyone, a lot of people are saying this, but we need to all come together. We need to be together. And it's so time to reach out and reach across the hallway or the street or the aisle. And this is something that Women Connect has always stood for. And it's why I'm so honored to be a part of it. The inclusion, the acceptance that is Women Connect is what we as women need to each reach our greatest potential. And, you know, I've had the opportunity to be in a city for a really long time, be in a really large city, that is New York. And it was the norm to be in community and connection with people that talked different than me, prayed different than me, ate different than me. And the way that it enriched my life, it has been one of the greatest gifts, coming from a mostly white rural area in Pennsylvania. And so it is just kind of this really exciting full circle moment where we are just getting started. But it is this beautiful full circle moment. And to be in partnership with you and your leadership and how dialed in you are to this work and this walk, and being a bridge to so many people in need. It's profound. So that is what Tuesday is all about. And, you know, not to take this in a dark direction, but it's really important to note. I was listening to something the other day, and it was speaking to the reality of addiction going up and up and up this year, especially. And the leading cause or the root of many addictions is lack of connection. If you can give someone a space to connect with other humans, their chances of accessing so much more love and empowerment and all the things that can help someone to process things that they're facing and going through, especially right now. It's that. And so I just want to be as good of a partner that I can to you and be a voice and use a platform to let people know that there are spaces like Women Connect and so many others that are doing amazing things right now in a time where there is nothing more valuable than human connection. And even though it's going to be, going down online, it will still be an amazing, amazing thing. So thank you for creating it.
Thank you for wanting to be a part of it.
So I know that you have a busy afternoon, so we're going to wrap it up soon. And I always like to end on a fun note. So I have a few rapid fire questions I'm going to throw at you.
Okay.
The first one is, describe yourself in 3 words.
Okay. Strong, kind, resilient.
If you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
I would see my friend Zainab in Iraq. She's in Baghdad right now. And I was supposed to go in September.
Wow.
Yeah. Next year.
Next year. What is the thing that bothers you the most?
When people check their cell phones when I'm talking to them.
Yes. Does that happen in online meetings in your experience?
They hide it really well because I've never seen it.
Do you know what? And this is about you, not me. But as you're saying this, what makes me crazy is when I'm on a Zoom meeting with someone and I see them constantly looking at the time, like, get me out of here. Maybe they're not thinking that, but I'm like, really, just be present for a minute.
Yeah, I'm all
okay. Your go-to.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I cut you off.
My go-to what?
Your go-to podcast or all-time favorite book?
Okay, so I'm addicted to Armchair Expert, which is actually where I heard about isolation being the root cause of addiction myself, and it's so true. So what you were saying about connection being life, yes. My favorite book, I have a lot. I'm the kind of person that reads 5 at a time, and I don't finish any. So what I'm reading right now is The Body Keeps Score, and I would recommend it. But it's a tough read. Yeah.
What compliment do people give you the most?
You know, the very first thing that you said, that when you are with me, you feel peace. And it's very interesting because if you had known me in my teenage years, all the way up until college, I was the opposite. I was so, I'll say obnoxious, but there were some beautiful things about my obnoxiousness. And I really do feel like I'm just so much more at peace now than I ever was. And I really love it. I do feel it. And that's who I am. And I'm embracing it.
It's such a gift. It completely emanates from you.
That's cool.
What have you done that you are most proud of?
Obviously leaving that institution and not giving up on my spirituality. You know, like there was good that came out of it. And there's good that's come afterwards. It's even greater and bigger. And I feel closer and more connected to the higher power I call God now than I ever have before. And I'm just looking forward to knowing that higher power even more every day. Like I've literally been praying that exact prayer every day for the last week. God, I want to know you more. That's it. I just want to know you more. And I'm just trusting that that's going to happen. I don't know what it's going to look like. Well, actually, this interaction right here, this conversation, being present with you and hearing your words of love and life, I feel like that's God. So just having my eyes open to all the different ways that God reveals God's self is a gift.
That's a beautiful share. Last question. What is success to you in one sentence?
Well, it changes like every year for me, but I'll say this year, success to me would look like enjoying my life, having fun. Yeah.
You are such a gift. You are so valued. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for letting me be with you.
Love you, girl.
Love you.